This video is looking at self-education expenses. You may be able to claim a deduction for self-education expenses if your self-education relates to your current work activities as an employee. In some circumstances, you have to reduce the amount of your claim by $250. Course eligibility. Self-education expenses are deductible when the course you undertake leads to a formal qualification and meets the following conditions. The course must have a sufficient connection to your current work activities as an employee, and maintain or improve the specific skills or knowledge you require in your current work activities, result in, or is likely to result in, an increase in your income from your current work activities. However, you can't claim a deduction for self-education expenses for a course that doesn't have a sufficient connection to your current work activities. For example, undertaking a full-time fashion photography course and working as a casual sales assistant on the weekends. Or enables you to get new employment, such as moving employment as a nurse to employment as a doctor. Expenses you can claim. You can claim a deduction for following expenses related to your eligible self-education. This include accommodation and meals, if you are away from home overnight. Computer consumables, for example, printer and cartridges. Course and tuition fees, if paid directly by you. Decline in value for depreciating assets, cost exceeds $300. Purchase of equipment or technical instruments, costing $300 or less. Equipment repairs. Fares. Fees payable on some higher education loan program, help loans, but not the loan itself. Home office running costs. Internet usage, excluding connection fees. Parking fees, only for work-related claims. Phone calls. Postage. Stationery. Textbooks. Trade, professional or academic journals. Student union fees. Student services and amenities fees. Travel costs, including car expenses. Between home and your place of education and between your workplace and the place of education, but not the cost of the last stage of your travel from home to your place of education, and then to work, and from work to your place of education, and then to your home. If an expense is partly for your self-education and partly for other purposes, you can only claim a deduction for the amount that relates to your self-education. For example, if a computer is used 50% of the time for study and 50% for private purposes, you can only claim half of the cost of the computer as a deduction. Expenses you can't claim. You can't claim the following expenses in relation to your self-education. Tuition fees paid by someone else or that you have been reimbursed for student contribution amounts. Repayments of higher education loan program. Home office occupancy expenses, for example, rent, mortgage, interest or rates. Accommodation and meals, unless sleeping away from home for study, such as to attend a residential school. As mentioned before, you may have to reduce your total self-education deductions by a statutory amount of $250, but this amount can be offset against the following items. First, childcare while attending self-education activities. Capital expenses related to your self-education, such as the purchase of a desk. Fares, travel or car expenses for these journeys. The work-related self-education, the second leg of a trip if you went from home to your place of education and then to work, or the other way around. What records should I keep? Recording self-education expenses. You may need to keep records to substantiate your expenses. These may include receipts or other documents showing expense such as course fees, textbooks, stationery costs and other self-education expenses as mentioned before. You must also keep receipts, documents or diary entries for travel expenses. Hopefully after watching our video you know what you can claim and cannot claim. Thank you for watching our video.